You gotta love these church mugs, these church things. Hey, Allan Aguirre with your Incorruptible 2-minute warning. We're trying to get through Romans chapter 10. We're going to do a little bit more backtracking because I want you to completely understand contextually what Paul is saying here in chapter 10. Okay, so Romans chapter 10, back to verse 5. And the English Standard Version calls this the message of salvation to all. Verse 5, Moses writes about the righteousness that is based on the law, the Torah, that the person who does the commandments shall live by them. Paul is citing Leviticus 18:5. Paul also cites Deuteronomy 30:11 through 12, and Romans 10:6, the next verse, where Moses says, "For this commandment that I command you today is not too hard for you, neither is it far off." We also see this in 1 John 5:3. "For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome." And then in verse 8 of Romans 10, Paul tells us what Moses did say. Right here. "The word is near you, in your mouth and in your heart." That is, again, verse 8 of Romans 10. That is the word of faith that we proclaim. Paul is citing Deuteronomy 30, verse 14. "But the word is very near you. It is in your mouth and in your heart, so that you can do it." And I have to be perfectly clear here. Paul is talking about Torah observance. Paul is citing Moses' instruction regarding keeping God's commandments, the Torah. Verse 5, context, Moses writes about the righteousness that is based on the law, the Torah, and the person who does the commandments shall live by them. Paul is citing what Moses' instructions regarding Torah and how it's not difficult, it's not far-fetched, it's not far away, it's tangible, it's there. You can do it, it's in your heart. Verse 9, Romans 10, "Because if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved." Paul is equating Torah with salvation with Jesus. Gee, I wonder why.
The views and opinions expressed during our broadcasts are solely those of the broadcast producers, hosts, and/or guests, etc., and are not necessarily the views or opinions of the Travelog Network, its sponsors, or affiliates.